Hi guys, I'm Dhruv Mundra, first year MBBS student at GMC Goa. I hope you're doing awesome, and this video I'll be talking about how to choose your MBBS college. I mean, you'll find many videos on YouTube about this, but only few of them were nice. I'll link them down in the description. So, after having going through this process, I think I can compile. I think there's some disturbance behind me because bahar TV chal rahi hai. Anyways, having going through this process and having difficulty in this question myself and not having found enough videos about it, I have decided to make a video on it. And yeah, hopefully you find some key pointers out of it. Okay, how to choose your medical college? First of all, it is multifactorial. What does that mean? There's not one factor you have to consider that good or bad, and there are many factors. I'll give you an example. See, do you know, you must have seen NIRF ranking, right? But what that takes into account is how many super specialty that college has, or that hospital in fact. But how does that matter to you? How many super speciality that colleges gives, it doesn't have to do anything to do with you. So that ranking is not applicable to a good extent. So multifactorial. The first point is government college or private college. There's nothing new here. You must have heard about this or you must know this already, that government college का जो fees है that is like at least 10 times less. And आपको like अगर आप state college में जाते हैं तो आपको I don't think the fees exceeds 10 lakh anywhere in the country for government. But for private, the same quality of education, maybe air conditioning मिल जाएगी and stuff, but जो पढ़ाई है that can cross 1 or 2 crores too for the entire MBBS, of course. So if you're getting a government college instead of private, don't even think about it. You should definitely go for a government college unless you are totally rich or something, which I would assume you're not, because that's a fair assumption to make. Second point that you should take into account is number of patient beds. This is a point that almost nobody thinks of. What do I mean by that? I mean the amount of exposure you will get in your second year, third year, early clinical exposure and internship. That amount of exposure exposes you to a lot of patients, so many different kind of patients. More the capacity of the hospital to take in patients, the more types of patients will come and the more knowledge you will have. On the other hand, if you don't have enough knowledge and you someday practice of your own, and you won't be able to give that well of an advice. And if you have already encountered it in the bond, and this is like a very big factor, just whatever colleges you're searching, just search number of beds and then the name of the college. By the way, in the end of the video, I'll talk about why did I choose GMC Goa over peripheral AIIMS. So stay tuned for that. Third point, as you must have read, is bonds. What do I mean by that? Everybody knows what do I mean by that. So अगर आप सेंट्रल इंस्टीट्यूशन से हो, जैसे जिपमर या एम्स ऑब्वियसली, तो आपको MBBS के बाद यू डोंट हैव एनी कंपल्शन टू डू एनी सर्विस देयर. लेकिन अगर आप स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज से हो तो हर स्टेट में अलग अलग अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम जो वो आपको साइन करना होता है इनिशियली, दैट इज़ द टाइम यू हैव टू सर्व देयर. What do I mean by that? आपका 5.5 years ख़त्म हुआ, 4.5 years of padhai and 1 year of internship, then the bond years come. For me in GMC Goa, it is 1 year, and for 5 lakhs. What do I mean by that? If I don't want to serve 1 year at GMC Goa, I'll need to have to pay 5 lakhs of rupees. And let me tell you, bond is a waste of time. For me, I would get a very good exposure for 1 year, and 1 year is okay. It's not that big of a time loss. So this was a gamble I took on. And in the video I saw during my process of selecting colleges, that guy Aditya Sanjay Singh, I'm forgetting his name. He's from AIIMS Delhi. Aditya Sanjay Gupta, I guess. Yeah. He's the way he explained that thing, that bonds is something you have to take into account. And there's one more thing he told all of us about, is state quota. I have highlighted this, I have bolded it, I have underlined this. This is the sole reason that I shouldn't say sole, it is the biggest reason why I took GMC Goa instead of AIIMS peripheral AIIMS, like the very new AIIMS. Why? What is that? It is, see, if you stay in college, what am I saying? State college. Suppose I'm living in Goa. I have been living in Goa for 4 years. So now if I do my entire MBBS in Goa, then after the MBBS there's PG exam, and there's the PG you have to do, MS, MD, diploma, whatever, according to your marks. That exam, next PG, is supposed to be very difficult. NEET PG was very difficult in comparison to NEET UG. Even though 1 lakh people gave it, but all of them are doctors. So over there, having a 50% state quota, 50% of all the PG seats in GMC Goa and all the government colleges, state government colleges, are secured for their own state citizens, state students. So I'm preparing for the worst. Somehow if my marks doesn't come appropriate, like I don't do that well, I will still qualify somehow for the state quota in GMC. So that is like the basic cushion I wanted to have, and everyone should at least consider this. No matter how good you are, I mean, I'm not suggesting anyone, but what I'm saying is state quota is a big thing. Let me give an example. For example, this example was given by Aditya in his video. I'll link it down below. I'm not taking any credit for any of this. So what he told us was, suppose MAMC, Maulana Azad Medical College, what happens is, अगर आपके पास कोटा है दिल्ली का DU का, देन आपका 500 रैंक के अंदर हो जाएगा नीट PG में. एंड देन अगर आपके पास कोटा नहीं है, देन 50 रैंक पे भी नहीं होगा. IMS BHU में अगर आपके पास कोटा है तो 8000 में हो जाएगा, अगर नहीं है तो 500 में भी होना मुश्किल है. सो दैट 10x वाला डिफरेंस बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है एट दैट टाइम, एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई हैव हर्ड फ्रॉम हिम एंड मेनी सीनियर्स. मूविंग ऑन, एज ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन. एज ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन, वाई इज दैट इवन रेलिवेंट? न्यू में ज़्यादा फैसिलिटीज होंगी, यू वुड आर्ग्यू. एग्रीड. द न्यूअर कॉलेजेस are bound to have more facilities and marble and glass, you know what I'm saying, ACs and stuff. But age of the institution plays a big role. Why? Because the longer it has been for the college that has been started, right? Like जितना पुराना होगा वो, उतना ज़्यादा it would have the history of creating students, alumni, which go on to become very successful doctors. Or suppose within my marks I could have got AIIMS Kalyani, AIIMS Gorakhpur, AIIMS Raebareli, AIIMS Bilaspur and many other AIIMS in this range. AIIMS Madurai, and I was getting all these AIIMS, but those were very new AIIMS. Nobody knows. I mean, I didn't know the credibility because I wouldn't have as much seniors, right? And seniors are important. They can tell you what to do, what not to do, and that is something to take into account. Old is gold. Next point is proximity. What do I mean by proximity? Proximity means closeness. So closeness, one of the good reasons I took GMC Goa, not anything else, is because GMC Goa is within 10 minutes to my house. I just grab hold of my scooter, जल्दी भगा के जाता हूँ हाईवे पे, and within 10 to 20 minutes I reach it. And you know, what else do I need? What else do I need? Just think about it. I have my friends there. There are friends I know from 2 to 3 years that are my batchmates now, and I reach there in no time trouble at all. I'm living with my parents, which is a good thing. I have a room of my own here, and that is something you have to consider. अगर आप बाहर जाओगे, if you're leaving your own state and going outside, that is a thing you can do. But होगा क्या कि what I presume, okay, it's not कंपल्सरी, बट बाहर जाओगे तो आपको होम सिकनेस, आपको सब चीज़ खुद करनी पड़ेगी, लाइक कपड़े धोना खुद के, खाने का इंतज़ाम करो एंड स्टफ. ऑल्दो एक पॉइंट के बाद यू हैव टू फेस द रियल वर्ल्ड आउट देयर, and I'm not denying that. Probably I'll join a hostel in my college too, but the point, repeating my point again, having the college within 10 to 15 minutes of your house brings so much comfort. It's not that I'm in my comfort zone. I'm saving so much time. I'm saving time. I mean, जो मेरा दिन का आधा से 1 घंटा मेरा कपड़े धोना इन सब मिसलेनियस चीज़ों में जाता, अब मुझे वो वेस्ट नहीं करना पड़ रहा. एंड डेली अगर मैं 1 घंटे का, जो 1 घंटा बचाया मैंने, उसमें आधा घंटा पढ़ भी लूँ, let's just take 1 hour for the for the easiness of calculations. Suppose I save 1 hour every day, and within 3 years it will amount to more than 1,000 hours. And even if I study half of it, like studying half an hour daily, I would have, saved 500 hours. And if I would have studied half of that time for 2-3 years, I would have studied for 250 hours more than normal, than what I would have. And I mean, with time, it will just give me compounding effect, right? 1.1 raised by 365 is 37. I would be 37 times better. Moving on. The last point I would say is, लास्ट ईयर क्या था. हर साल तुम्हारा काउंसलिंग होने से पहले, लाइक पिछले साल का काउंसलिंग रिजल्ट्स is uploaded in MCC site, and I'm talking about all India quota, obviously. So you go there, you make a list of 50 colleges at least. Suppose your rank is 10,000, suppose. So starting from 7,000, list down all the colleges people have got in general category, assuming you are general category, in all India quota, and make a list out of it. From 7,000 to at least 12,000 you make here, and you would have a very big amount of like colleges. Then the 6 point I showed you, what were they? Are they government, private? Private को cancel करना. Number of patient beds, if it's a very good number, at least I would say, at least there should be 600 plus. At least I'm saying, like GNC Goa में I assume there are 1500 plus, I don't know, but it's a good number. Bond, देखना कि 1 साल से ज़्यादा बॉन्ड ना ही हो, एंड जो बॉन्ड हो वो तोड़ सकें. State quota, take into account. If you want to join AIIMS, nobody is stopping you, obviously. But state quota is something you should know of. Age of the institution. The older the institution is, the more credibility it has, accountability and stuff, right? The more the institution knows what they are doing. The very new institutions of AIIMS, I mean, it has been 1 or 2 years since they have been created and the batch have been started. There are not enough seniors who can guide you. And proximity, that is how close the college is for you. Even if it's in the adjacent state or something, just imagine if the college is you are a North Indian and the college in South India, there will be a language barrier, and that is not a very easy barrier to cross. I mean, people do cross it, don't get me wrong, but it's not a given fact that you will. I mean, it has been 4 years for me staying in Goa, but I have not learned Konkani. I've started now. Now I will tell you why did I choose GMC Goa over AIIMS, like peripheral AIIMS. I would have got many peripheral AIIMS if I would have waited for round 3 or round 2. But why did not I? Okay, so these are very scattered. I would make this like this. Yeah. So why did I choose GMC Goa over peripheral AIIMS? First, GMC Goa is 10 minutes from my house. Just 10 minutes. So the thing is, as I explained to you, that this saves so much of my time, and that is just difficult to explain. Let us do the calculations here, right? Suppose there are 365 days multiplied by 1 hour daily is equal to how much? 365 hours, and for 4.5 years, okay, 4.5 is I have no idea. I have to calculate that much, but the thing is, it will be 1500 plus hours. And making this a little smaller, and if you even study for half of this time, you would save a lot of time. This is a ridiculous figure. There's so many things you can do with this time, like making YouTube videos. Anyways, I'll insert a meme there maybe. State quota. I told you that there's a 10x rule, that you are at 10x the disadvantage of getting a government medical college seat for PG in state government colleges, of course, by 10 times. That is a problem. GMC, see, in GMC 10 minutes दूर है मेरे घर से. I have the state quota for PG. If I don't do well, I have at least Goa. And saying that, Goa is not bad at all. Very old institution. Goa Medical College was founded in the 19th century. I don't know, but it is like 170 years plus. So it's a very old institution, probably one of the oldest in all of Asia. And this makes it very, very solid and very accountable, reliable, whatever you want to call it. Then friends and familiarity. The tuition, the coaching classes I used to go to, Akash, and I have a lot of friends I used to study with, who are there with me now. So this is very good sense of familiarity. I don't have to go out of my comfort zone making friends and just missing everybody at my house. Now there are no good number of beds. GMC Goa has more than 1500 beds, and that means you'll be not you'll be I'll be exposed to different kinds of diseases, many different kind of diseases, that if I would have gone in a college whose OPD has not been constructed yet, that's a problem. Anyways, I hope you derived some information out of this. I tried to give all I could think about, and do let me know what type of videos you would like. Would you like me making videos on my what's my day-to-day routine, or would you like me to tell you how I study various subjects? I don't know. I'll be soon making video on how I studied for NEET UG, and probably I'll make multiple videos for that, because why not? ज़्यादा videos होनी चाहिए. And yeah, if you're watching, I do hope this added some value to your life and you do good in life. Thank you.